Okay, it is time for us to get started. And I am excited about this one today. Luckily for me, I got to have a sneak peek at what we'll be learning today. Just yesterday morning for me. And it is incredibly interesting. And so I'm excited for everyone. But before we get to Claudia, before we get to this special event of launching a new product in our region of the world, especially here in Singapore, that a lot of us will be able to reach and benefit from. Before that, I also want to say and let everyone know that's on here, and hopefully you can pass this message on to your friends, your teams, that I've had some great meetings today to help us prepare for our next recognition event. And so you can be expecting to see announcements about that, and that we'll be having that this coming January 2021. And so as far as the specific day and the specifics of the event, look out for those. But we are very excited to be working actively on putting this together, making it even better than our last one. And it's going to be an awesome time because I know that a lot of you are also currently digging in so that you can be experiencing a trip to Finland or other places in the coming future. And so we want to recognize those efforts, and we're excited to be having that event in just a few months. But on that note, that's not what we're excited about today so much. Today we're excited about a new tool, the final product from the PDR that hasn't been available yet in Singapore. And so with this product, we will have all of the PDR products from Unicity right there available. That's awesome. But enough from me. As always, I'm not who you came to see. And so I'm going to turn it over to Claudia so she can instruct us and amaze us with the benefits of Enzygen B Plus.
Thank you, Sam, for the introduction. And I'm really glad to be here on call with all of you here today. I know it has been some time, so I have been really excited. So give me a moment to share my screen. Okay, so enzyme. The earliest memory I have about enzyme started when I was in primary school. I remember during that time, it was a very popular thing among my relatives. It came in this wine bottle packaging, all right? And the contents is filled with mangosteen juice. So I'm not sure if this is a trend during your time, but I have this vivid memory about how enzyme was such a popular supplement among my relatives when I was younger. Fast forward 20 years later, enzyme is still everywhere. All right, we see it in pharmacies. Now even beauty supplement also have enzyme. But I have to say the enzyme is one of those things that people are all aware of. Right? People know that it exists, but they do not know what is the function or what is it for. If you ask a layman what is vitamin C, they can tell you with confidence, oh, this is for immune health. But if you ask them about enzyme, you'll be like, for digestive system. And that's about it, right? So I'm sure there are many people who are on the fence about enzyme and what does it really do. Because, well, I have to say, not everyone thinks that taking care of their digestive system is priority, right? For them, if we are talking about something that protects the heart, protects the brain, then people will have a sense of urgency to, okay, I have to do something and I'll eat that immediately. But when it comes to digestive system, people are like, well, I mean, it's not that important anyway. So if you're one of those people and you're on the fence on things, right? Then, well, maybe this presentation today will be able to change your mind. Have you ever wondered how the forests in the world, right, being so vast and full of different organisms, could coexist, all right, and can sustain itself? Well, for those who have tend or plant your own plants would know that taking care of a plant is effort, right? It's effort, it's passion, and it is a labor of love. And plants can be very picky, right? So just to share with you my experience with plants. So I also tried to plant my own plant. So I've decided to plant the easiest plant to manage, which is the money plant, okay? I have a few colleagues who are actually planting it in their offices right now. But I don't know why, okay? I plant it and I put it in my house for 2 months only, 2 to 3 months. The money plant just died, okay? I don't know what is happening. So that comes to say that it's really not easy to take care of a plant. So if taking care of your own plant at home is so difficult, what more about the nature? All right, how on earth are they able to sustain themselves? So usually, all right, there's always a season where plants will wither, all right? And for those who are in the States would know that there's autumn. So whenever a leaf were to wither, all right, and you will fall on the ground, there will be decomposing bacteria, all right, that's on the surface of the plant that will react with the ground, the soil, or surrounding moisture. And this will then produce enzyme. So these enzymes are very important. Why? Because it helps to degrade this leaf into biodegradable materials, and then it will be absorbed back into the soil. And this is why it provides soil the fertility, all right? And this fertility is very important for existing trees, all right? For them to continue to be filled with nutrients and for life to continue to circulate in the branches. So enzyme is a very important thing to ensure that, you know, our forests, all right, and the world can still be filled with amazing vegetation. So enzyme is not just any other thing, right? It sustains nature. So if it's so important for the world, what more it is to us? So as you can see here, it's an image of a pond that looks quite dirty. Am I right? On the surface, you can see that there are a lot of molds and a lot of unwanted vegetation. Okay, and it looks pretty messy, and the water also looks pretty murky and dark. However, surprisingly, after a matter of a few months, the pond is able to clear itself. So this is a very fascinating discovery. So it finds that the scientists who are on this project to clear the lake only used enzyme. Yes, all right, because you see, it's a lot of vegetation on top, you know. So a lot of people will be thinking it's not easy to clear a dirty pond. You may need some sophisticated machinery, okay, to do some, you know, nanotechnology to clear out all those dirt and waste. However, the only thing they did was they put enzyme. So not just only enzyme can decompose all these organic materials, right? It can use these waste as nutrient, right, and clear off and kill unwanted pathogens and to make the lake thrive again. So all these things is done with the help of just enzyme, right, without any harmful side effects to the environment. So I think, to be honest, for many of us, our body is just like the picture on the top, right, like the lake on top. Okay, don't know what we eat, and especially now looks like lockdown is going to be reinforcing. So we are going to be staying at home a lot more. So it means that a lot more unhealthy food we'll be ingesting. So I'm sure, you know, for us, many of us, our body is like the state up there, right? So if enzyme can clear the lake, what more it can clear? Our state in our body. So many people would think, oh, okay, it's so fine, I can take enzyme through food. However, due to cooking process, which we cannot avoid, a lot of the enzyme has already been denatured due to high temperature. And on top of that, there are still a lot of processes that goes on in the food that we eat today. There are a lot more chemicals and preservatives, and these are things that could degenerate the healthy enzymes that are in food. So as a result, our diet is very depleted of needful enzyme. So many people think that digestive system is only the intestine, right? It's the small intestine or the large intestine, okay? Or okay, maybe just my throat. But if you look at this picture, this is actually an official system diagram, all right, for medical sciences. This is not something I Photoshop, all right? If you find in the medical textbook, you will see this image, the digestive system composed with a lot of other things other than just the intestine. So you can see here, yours starts with the mouth, right? Then mouth all the way, okay, even your liver, your gallbladder, your appendix, your stomach, your pancreas, everything is also part of the digestive system. So through this diagram, we can see very clearly there is more than just the intestines. Okay, there are so many other components that makes our digestive system healthy. So one of the few things I want to point out in particular is the pancreas. So why is pancreas so important? All right, it's not just important. It's important until it is central to metabolic health. All right, everything that Unicity does, all right, all the supplements that we produce, it's just so that we can protect our body organs. So we will not need to overwork, all right, and to overburden them and to lead to organ fatigue and cause a whole bunch of health disease into the body. So this is a very, very important function to us. And it's also very close to one of our core focus, which is into metabolic health. So you may be thinking, what is the big deal about pancreas? Well, pancreas is the main production site of insulin. So as we all know in this call, many are familiar about how it works in the body. So if we do not have enough insulin, it means that we also have no control over our sugar level. So it will always be up and down, up and down, up and down. And it could bring a lot of very terminal side effect to the body. And it's also one of the reasons why it's called a digestive organ. It's because it also produces enzyme to help to break things down better in our body. And it's also production of hormones. Next, I want to mention liver. Okay, this is one of the organs where it's important, but many people neglect it, right? Because they think it's not as important as their heart. Okay, so exactly how important is this liver? It performs more than 500 functions in the body. Okay, if you talk about 20 functions, it's also already a lot, right? 20 is a lot of functions already. We're talking about now 500 functions. Can you imagine the magnitude of the work that is being done in our body? And it filters 2,400 liters of blood a day. And to give you a good visual, it is roughly 15 bathtubs of blood a day. Can you imagine? Right? One bathtub of blood is already like beyond my mind, right? And it does up to 15 bathtubs a day. And on top of that, it also helps to regulate our amino acid, and it also produces enzyme in the body. So as we can see here, there are two organs who are very busy doing their own job. So if our body does not have enough enzyme, it could also mean that we are overworking, all right, these organs, and is unable to be more specific to do what it's supposed to do. Well, I'm sure everybody loves a good steak. Am I right? Okay, everybody loves, when you go to a nice 5-star restaurant, one of their prime items is definitely like a medium rare ribeye steak, right? So this is something that is very hard for us to give up on. Roast chicken, furthermore, a lot of websites are promoting about how healthy it is for us. Yeah, in some ways it is healthy for us. And of course, deep fried food, right? I'm sure a lot of people do not want to admit, but secretly, they do enjoy eating fried chicken once in a while, right? So you may be thinking, what is so unhealthy about it? Aren't they like supposed to be healthy since it's baked and another thing is grilled? But many people do not know, or they know, but they forgot, okay, that charred and deep fried meats that's prepared under high temperature can mutate the DNA. Just so you know, the DNA does not change so easily. Okay, it cannot be altered like, chemical and things like that. It's something that's fixed. So for a food, okay, for chemical that can mutate the DNA, means the effect of it is pretty significant. All right. So once our DNA in our body is being distorted, it will lead to an increased cancer risk up to 60%. All right. It's not like 20% or 0.1 or 0.2. If we're talking about half, 50% is really a lot, So 60%, can you imagine? Right? It's a very high risk, okay? And what are the type of cancer a person would likely get, all right, if they consume high amounts of grilled and high temperature foods? Okay, high risk to stomach, colorectal, and pancreatic cancer. So these are organs that are the digestive organs. Okay, of course, it still increased risk to other related cancers such as breast, prostate cancer as well. But these three are more of a higher risk. Furthermore, all right, we have this concept that healthy food, especially yogurt that has fruits inside, is very healthy. Okay, and same like cereal, some whole brand cereal, refined cereal. It looks pretty whole grain, but it's actually loaded with high fructose corn syrup. So what is so damaging about this fructose is because it will be absorbed immediately by the liver. All right, it cannot be, there's no filter, all right, so to speak. So it will be in the liver and it will damage it directly. And now, with the COVID-19 pandemic, all right, we are exposed to sanitizers a lot more than we used to. All right, we are exposed to a lot more chemicals, detergent, and sanitizers. So, of course, this is a needful process for us to curb the viral spread of COVID-19. However, I came across a report, all right, that describes the effect of sanitizers to the body. It says because in this sanitizer, alcohol and hydrogen peroxide is used. It says the long-term exposure to sanitizer is harmful. All right, not just using the hand, sometimes inhale, they have to sanitize everywhere, literally now. So all these chemical we cannot avoid, all right? Somehow or rather we will absorb it. Next, cologne. Okay, this is something that we use every day. I admit, I use fragrance every day, okay? I mean, I want to feel confident, especially if I'm presenting to you. And sometimes you just want to feel good about yourself. Right? But unfortunately, fragrances have volatile organic compounds that all these things can further burden the liver. All right, actually, it's not just the liver. All right, it will also affect other organs such as our respiratory tract and other related cancer. So, unless you are staying in a laboratory, all right, you have a controlled environment and you just stay there forever, don't go out, okay? If not, I don't think you can avoid yourself from being in contact with all these chemicals as we see here, and the food as well. So you have to accept that all this is part of reality. So if you don't take care of our digestive system, what does this mean? All right? It means all these other organs will also be affected. All right, it's not just the throat or I won't burp as much. It's not as simple as that, So once one organ is affected, it will cascade to the entire system, will also be compromised. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to scare you, all right? But I'm just trying to tell you the reality of what we're facing. And the truth is, we all still have to function and we still have to move on with life. But we don't have to do it with a sense of worry and anxiety. That's because Unicity has the solution, all right? We have we have what it takes to help you perform your job or whatever daily activities with confidence, because we have what it is to protect the organs in your body. So just now we learned a lot about how enzyme would help the environment, okay? So let's look at how enzyme can help our body inside, right? So enzyme increases body chemical reactions up to 1,000,000-fold, all right? It's not, okay, 100-fold is also a lot to me, right? This is 1,000,000-fold. So you just imagine simple activities like breathing, all right? I've read, they say if there is no enzyme in the body, it will take us 1 year to exhale. Yeah, like it takes us 1 year for us to breathe. You know, now it seems very simple for us to do. But indeed, that's why we can do it, because we have a lot of enzymes in the body, all right? So even though you have a lot of oxygen, okay, it doesn't matter how much of oxygen you have. But if your body does not have the needed enzyme to carry out the work, you won't be able to function normally. And next, enzyme sustains life and many other parts of the body, right? It's involved in energy production, destroying toxins, digestion, nerve function, and typically just all the organs to function properly in the body. So it's very, very important. Okay, so you may be thinking, what's the big deal about Enzygen B Plus, right? I can just drink the wine bottle, you know, mangosteen juice, right? Why can't I drink that, right? So what's the difference? So we have a collection of enzymes, right? These are just some of the few that we have that looks like a lot, right? What if I tell you there's more? And there's some more, okay? In one capsule of Enzygen B Plus, you have a total of 16 different enzymes. 16 different enzymes, can you imagine, right? Talking about next level. I'm sure for those who are, you know, Malaysian and Singaporeans would be very familiar with the term kiasu, right? It means very afraid to lose, right? Want to always win one, you know? So I think in a sense, we're also pretty, you know, competitive that way. 1 or 2 enzymes is not enough. We're going to give you 16 different types of enzymes. Okay, so just to break down carbs alone, we have 4 types of carb-specific enzyme. All right, 1 is not enough, 2 also not enough. We need to give you 4. So why is it so important that we give you different types of carb-specific enzyme? Well, in the past, scientists find that if an individual have low amounts of enzyme, it is related usually to more terminal-related illness. Okay, such as maybe there is a major organ that malfunction in the body, such as liver or pancreatitis, all right? Because they associate that to be of a major breakdown in the body. But now, scientists is finding individuals with a deficit in amylase enzyme, okay, which is carb-specific enzyme, a lot more common in very normally seen conditions today. Why is it so? Okay, so if this carb-specific enzyme is low in the body, carbs will be unable to be broken down into glucose. So if you know that the food that we take, all right, the molecular structure is actually really big. Okay, it's called carbohydrate. So in order for insulin to perform its function, carbs have to be broken down into singular units, such as glucose, in order for it to be absorbed into the body. So what happens if carbs are continuously so big, all right, it's such a huge structure in the body? Okay, insulin cannot work. So this is very serious, you know. If insulin cannot work, it means that those large molecular structure of sugar will continue to be in the blood. And they have no way to go, all right? So they will continue to float around there. So naturally, a person will also have higher glucose level in the blood, all right? So if this continue to prolong for a sustained period of time, it will lead to insulin resistance. Okay, so nowadays, scientists is finding a lot of individuals who have a low carbohydrate enzyme. It's actually linked to insulin resistance. And because you do not have enough enzymes in the mouth to break down carbohydrate, naturally, you will not have the ability to taste food as its original form. Okay, I think for us in the Asian culture, we like to eat whatever food with sambal, right? With our condiments, with chili padi, with soy sauce, right? Without all these condiments and all the sauces, you will feel that life is not complete. Okay, something is missing. So this is also because our taste, our enzyme in the mouth has already unable, all right, to produce enough for us to feel satisfied with just eating vegetable alone. Okay, so as a result, naturally, if you have a low perception of taste, you will want to add more salt, more sugar in everything you eat. So obesity would just come as a very natural problem as well. And we all know that obesity is hard, all right, because it leads to metabolic syndrome. Okay, and the problem just snowballs from here. So who could have thought, right? Enzyme only, something actually is linked directly to our blood level and our sugar level in the blood, And now they are trying to even find ways to one day replace, having to prick the blood. They're in the works of researching. Maybe they could do some fast method, all right, to detect amylase enzyme in the mouth, all right. So if they can detect that, then they can diagnose a person if they have high risk of diabetes a lot sooner without having to use the blood. So this is something that they are researching at the moment, okay, but I think it's quite promising. Okay, on top of that, we still have 5 types of protein-specific enzyme. All right, talking about, being competitive. So we have 3 types of proteases, and we've also added 2 types of enzyme from plants, which is bromelain and papain. So on top of what they help us to do, which is digesting protein, and like bromelain and papain are very commonly used to digest very tough meats, all right, used as a natural meat tenderizer. So on top of that, actually, our cell is always in a state of multiplying, right? Cell division is always happening. So protease is actually very important for our DNA health because it ensures our DNA could separate, all right, and it can transcript naturally. Make sure that they don't multiply out of control, all right, and the whole process is very clean and healthy. So this function is a lot more prominent in areas of the body that requires a lot of energy, such as the brain. Okay, there's a lot of neurotransmitter being produced and a lot of signals being sent. So it's a very busy organ. So as a result, it's very important that that the DNA in these particular parts of our brain separates well, all right, and we can multiply in a good way. And next is reproductive health, all right? This includes ovary and the sperm, all right, for it to always multiply new ones. So a lot of cell division is happening there. Not to mention wound healing, okay? Wound healing and immunity, right? If there's a scar on the skin or anything that's happening in the body, we need to continue to have new cell, all right? So we can have a new layer of cell to protect our body. So it's so much more than just digesting protein, okay? It helps to sustain so many important functions in the body. So I want to add on a bit more on bromelain, okay? It has been used as a supplement as well for some time. One of the main reasons is because it's a very potent anti-inflammatory. However, most people assume that they can take this bromelain from pineapple, which is true. You can get it from pineapple, but which part of the pineapple? Okay, so as you can see here, you can only be obtained through the stem. So do we eat stem? Okay, unfortunately, we can't eat stem. So the only way for us to obtain bromelain is through supplementation. And next, bromelain also have this unique function to inhibit blood from clumping together. So this is a very good function for those who have higher risk to stroke, those who have high blood pressure issues, or those who have a thicker blood, so to speak. So it can help to smooth and improve circulation overall in the body. Right? And it is also used as an anti-inflammatory agent to help those who have arthritis and joint-related stiffness. So I think it's amazing, okay? On top of just digesting our protein, it's also able to give us these benefits. So is this the end of it? Okay, like I said, this is next level competitiveness. So we still have others, all right, to break down other nutrients in the body, such as lipase. So lipase is very important because it helps to digest fats in the body, reduce the feeling of sluggishness, and increase fat metabolism. Well, I think there's no one that wants to keep fat in the body, all right? Nobody wants to keep fat. If they can, they want to burn it off, right? So I think this is a great function for everyone. If we can metabolize our fat faster, it means we can use fat as fuel a lot faster as well. And you also have lactase. So this is good news for those who have discomfort, you know, when you take a lot of dairy products. So with lactase, it can help to digest the milk protein a lot better and efficient. So you feel more comfortable even after dairy-laden milk. And we have 6 types of plant enzymes to break down fiber and for maximum absorption. So you may be thinking, why we need so many plant enzymes? Well, that's because our body does not have enzymes that can break down plants because plant has cell wall. So in order for us to really absorb plants well, we need plant enzymes to give us this benefit. Next, we have enzyme for antioxidative activity. Okay. So why we talk about catalase is because it's central in protecting the cell from oxidative damage. So similarly, all right, it doesn't matter how much vitamin C we may have in the body. But if we do not have enough enzyme to perform the function fast enough, we may not be able to protect our cells in time, right? Before our body get to do the anti-inflammatory property, the pathogen already come attack, or the radiation has already happened to the cell. So if we have this catalase, it can perform the function a lot quicker and faster. Hence, it makes us stronger as a whole. So catalase is a very, very important enzyme. So if we do not have sufficient catalase, it's also linked to a lot of illnesses, such as diabetes. As we all know, diabetes is an inflammatory condition, right? A lot of inflammation is going on. Hence, if we do not have enough antioxidative activity, you know, we have higher risk of getting diabetes. And there's also hypertension, anemia, Parkinson's disease, okay, degenerative activity in the brain, and cancer. So I think this is a pretty important enzyme to have in the body to ensure that we are free from all these illnesses. Okay, you may be thinking that digestive system illness isn't too expensive, all right, or isn't that much of a big deal. If I have it, it wouldn't cost me much. However, according to statistics, it is a $136 billion problem. 1 billion is really a lot of money, you know. I don't even have 1 million, what more 1 billion. So this is a $136 billion problem. You may be thinking, oh, there are other conditions that may cost more than this. So let's look at other conditions to see how it stacks up. So heart disease, as we all know, is the #1 killer in the world. So no doubt heart attack is the #1 killer in the world. But the treatment and the cost to treat heart disease is not as expensive as treating a digestive system illness. Okay, I think this is really, mind-blowing. Okay, even though it's, a lot of people are having it, but it's not as expensive. And trauma, okay, accident, those people who have lost a leg, these kind of things, the treatment is also not as expensive as digestive system, okay, and mental health. So I think this is a very costly illness to have, and if you can, just try not to have it, okay? So that's why we have added extra enzyme, just to give us a second layer of protection to our digestive system. So we extracted enzyme from kiwi fruit. So kiwi fruit can help to relieve constipation and other gastrointestinal disorders. So I'm sure many of you know or personally experience constipation. And many people are normalizing it, all right? They think that, constipation is very common, everybody has it, not a big deal. However, just think about it, right? If one day you have constipation, it means there's one day that your large intestine has more stools than it should. So usually stools in the large intestine, you'll be very dehydrated. So it's very, very dry. So number one, if you have extra stools in your body, it means more toxins is being absorbed in your body than it should. And secondly, when your feces is more dry, it has a higher tendency to cause abrasiveness, and it can hurt your intestinal lining, and it can cut your intestinal lining wall and cause it to bleed. Okay, so even though you only have constipation for one day only, your body has already been affected. All right, the negative effects of all the toxin and hard stools has already costed one day of your life. So I don't think constipation should be taken lightly. And it also reduces abdominal discomfort. All right, so this is also very common, especially with stressful situation. We burp a lot, right? Uncontrolled burping. So kiwi fruit is found to give us that kind of relief. And there's also enzyme actinidin, right? Specifically is to help protein digestion in the stomach and the small intestine. To be honest, even though abdominal discomfort doesn't sound like a very critical issue, but it's very, very uncomfortable. All right, imagine going anywhere there's air always, burping, and you're always having flatulence problem. I think it's very, very uncomfortable and unpleasant. So looks like we are not ending yet, okay? We said vitamin B, all right? It's such an important vitamin that even we have it in Chlorospirulina 2.0, we still feel there's a need to add this in Enzygen B Plus. So in this Enzygen B Plus, we have 4 types of vitamin B. So what does it do to the body? On top of providing us energy, it helps to ensure that our metabolism is normal in the body, all right? Effective metabolism. This means that our body can use carbohydrate, fat, and protein a lot more effectively. And also, these vitamins are very needful for the production of neurotransmitter, particularly neuron transmitter that help to regulate our emotion, such as serotonin, dopamine, and so on. So all these vitamins is found to give us a more centered, right, and more balanced state of mind and our emotional health. And they are also very important for our liver health as well. So vitamin is more than just energy, yeah? It also has a lot more functions in the body. So this is the $1 million question, right? So if I take Enzygen B Plus, what will I experience? Well, your concern is valid. Number one, it protects your DNA, and what it gives you confidence and peace. That you don't have to go out there being worried over all the contaminants that will potentially attack our body. That's because we have enzyme, okay? Catalase enzyme particularly, right? It's a very strong antioxidative, and we also have protease to help the DNA, to protect the DNA. So once we have this, it can help to reduce our risk to cancer. And if we protect our DNA, it also means that we protect all other body organs. So this is a very important function. And number 2, it regulates sugar level. Never were I thought, when I was doing research to do this presentation, I would ever find this association, which I think is amazing, okay? Just enzyme only, all right? If you have this function, okay, of breaking down carbs better, it means that we have higher adaptability to carbohydrate food. I think it's awesome. This means if you were to consume noodles, for example, all right, compared to a person who does not have sufficient enzyme, your blood glucose level will revert back to normal, all right, and will go back to normal levels a lot faster compared to a person who don't have. So that means even if I want to indulge in cakes, in dessert, I don't have to be so worried about it. Like, I can adapt to it quicker. And this can improve individual glycemic response. Not just glycemic response in food, all right? But we ourselves, we can have our own improved glycemic response. So honestly, I think it's amazing, really. And I think it doesn't matter whether you are diabetes or not, you are high glucose level or not. I think this is something that everybody can have, all right? If you can break down cake even better, why not, right? And of course, this ensures all food supplement taken has increased effectiveness, right? This is very important, as I said. It does not matter how much of nutrients you have in your body, collagen or vitamin C or whatever. If you have the relevant enzyme to break this down more, it elevates the effect of everything you take many more times. Okay, it elevates the effect of food better. So it doesn't matter where you want to relate it. It could be your skin health, it could be your immune health, it could be your, weight loss, okay? It could work in many other ways. So you will also experience a reduced sensation of heartburn and gastric issues. So this is one of the most tangible effects that you feel, all right, if you take Enzygen B Plus. Because this is, I would say, pretty immediate. Okay, why? It's because food don't remain stuck in the stomach. If food don't remain stuck in the stomach, it means it's able to digest and flow down a lot better. And smooth bowel passage will also provide us a more comfortable time in the toilet, right? As much as it is not an alarming issue, but we all want to have a good experience in the toilet, right? And it makes us feel better and makes us feel good for the day. And it improves the overall digestive system, which I think is excellent. Lastly, it improves your sense of taste. So with this, you'll be able to enjoy, all right, the natural flavors, the natural texture of vegetables and fruits that may be very bland for you initially. But once you have it, you have the adaptability to it, you will not need to consume food that is so strong in taste. And you can find yourself cutting down on the unnecessary sugar and salt in your diet. So for whoever who wants to live healthily and who want to be on a weight loss mission, well, this would really help you achieve your goals a lot more. Well, this is very, very good news as well. Enzygen B Plus can be found in the physician desk reference, all right? So it means that not just only normal, people can share this among themselves, all right? The formulation is so good, all right, that it qualifies and it can be put into a dictionary that can be found by medical professionals. So if anything at all, it solidifies the reputation, okay, and the quality of the products that we are serving today. So is enzyme important? Is it only just for digestive relief? Well, I hope from today's session, you will have a different perspective, all right? And you will open your eyes towards the reality of our digestive system. And truth is, whether you like it or not, doesn't matter whether you're sick, you're healthy, you're having a health goal or not, everybody needs Enzygen B Plus. So thank you for your time here today, and I hope that you have learned a thing or two. So I will pass the time back to Sam to take it from here.
Yes, thank you very much, Claudia. That was very well prepared. It's very noticeable how much research, study, and experience Claudia brings to the table when she teaches us about these. And well, I hope that all of you have seen the benefit from this, but we're not done, because we now want to hear from some of you whose faces others will recognize from the recognition event last month, and also some of our top recruiters there in Singapore who we provided the product with over a month ago, and they've been using it. And so we are going to be hearing from each of these 3 awesome individuals as they tell their perspective about how the Enzyme B Plus product has impacted and improved and made their lives better over the last month. And so before we introduce the first one, though, I don't want to forget about letting everyone know about the free shipping. And so during the pre-order of this launch, any orders that include the Enzyme B Plus in the order are going to receive free shipping. This is for Singapore and the Malaysia NFR, where that's available. And so for our friends who are in Brunei and Indonesia and Australia, well, from my conversations, I know a lot of you know people and have friends in Singapore. And so if you're making orders for Enzyme B Plus, then now is the time to do it. So you get that free shipping so that they can get it over to you in your countries. But on that note, let's get to hearing from these key people. So I am going to pass it over. Oh, so that's an announcement that I don't speak Mandarin or Bahasa Malaysian. So, but I think those of you that are interested will recognize what that says and know that these are for the trainings in Mandarin and Bahasa Malaysian. Okay, are there any other announcements that I've forgotten about? Because I'm excited about the testimonials. No, okay,
no,
good.
no. Okay.
Well, so then in that case, let's have Claudia introduce each of our testimonial providers tonight, and we'll turn the time over to them so that we can hear their stories.
Okay, thank you, Sam. All right, so the first person I want to introduce is Jiang Chai, and he has some really good testimonials that I'm sure will benefit you. So let's give a hand to Mr. Jiang Chai.
Hi, good morning. Hi, morning to all. I'm Zhang Chai from Singapore. Firstly, I want to thank you, Claudia, for conducting a very good, informative training for us on Enzyme Plus. And today, I would like to, I also like to take the opportunity to thank from the team to be given a chance to share my experience using Enzyme B Plus. There are some points that I realized that there's some good changes in me. Firstly, will be on the fitness rise. When I started within 2 weeks, I feel that I seem to have more energy, in a sense that when I do normal workout, it kind of like you have more energy to go on further, and you won't feel so much fatigue. Secondly, you will feel that also that your body itself, the muscle, seems to be more toned. And next, in terms of food, after we take our food, normally I'll feel like, indigestion, that I have a lot of burps. But kind of during the process when taking Enzyme B Plus, the burp seems to be go off. Start off lesser, therefore now it doesn't really have much burps. And next, I feel that in the digestive wise, it actually smoothen and also soften the stools that we are in our bowel movements. and you really have a great experience while going to the toilet as well. And I also feel that during the process for the first 2 weeks, it's kind of like you feel you're very energetic. Because in the first, normally I tend to sleep a bit late, like maybe 11 p.m. to close to midnight or even 1 a.m. But when the second week onwards, I felt that even I sleep at about 2 a.m., the following day, I can still wake up very early at 5:30 and full of energy that can last me throughout the whole day, on the next day itself. So this is a very good supplement that I realized. In overall, I would say it's kind of a booster to overall supplements that I've been taking as well. So it's really something that everyone should look into it and experience it yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Zhang Chai, for sharing your experience. And what I think is amazing that after taking Enzygen B Plus, you feel like your muscles more toned. Okay, I think I should also take Enzygen B Plus. I'm in need of that muscle toning. Okay, so next we have a very special guest. All right, she's no stranger to us, but someone who is very experienced with Unicity products as well. So I want to introduce Alice to share with us today. Alice, can you unmute yourself? Alice.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Alice from Singapore. Yeah, thank you very much for Unicity give me the opportunity to experience the Enzygen Plus, the Enzygen B Plus a few weeks ago. For myself, yes, I have very good experience taking Unicity products for over 10 years. But this product is, I'm can't wait to start it, and I'm so glad that I can experience before it launch. For my body, I have a very stressful stomach. Yes, maybe it's my eating habit, and that's one habit of myself is I eat too fast, especially alone. I just want to fill my stomach, then rush. So my stomach is always on the stress level. So, but with this Enzygen B Plus, I really experience it then. I feel more calm on that. I feel, less, I don't have the stomach ache, but it's something can feel very tight, stress a bit. Sometimes after food or before going to bed or all this. But with the Enzygen Plus, I try it just 1 week and I find I'm less stressed. And very obvious is I go toilet for my big business more. That means is my digestive system improve. That I feel very fresh, I feel very light. I mean, including my emotion. Because when your stomach feels stressed, you are very uptight. So I really appreciate this product's launch, and I really enjoy it for giving me less stress and smooth business, and I feel more hydrated. I less thirsty, or maybe because I take more Enzygen Plus, I take it 2 times or 3 times a day. So give me the more reason to drink more water. Yeah. So I'm so glad that this product launched in Singapore, Malaysia. Yes, it's really benefit me, and I believe can benefit everyone. Thank you.
Oh, that's great to know. right? That has helped you significantly. And you're right. If your stomach is stressed, you will also be very stressed, right? And you feel like there's no mood to do anything you need to do for the day. So stomach comfort is really important. So the next guest, all right, I have to give my hats off to her. Right, she is. People will not know how is she able to handle her life. Okay, she is a mother of, correct me if I'm wrong, 6, is it? Yeah, and she have, just a newborn, all right, and juggling with so much at home, and at the same time, she's still a businesswoman, all right? She's capable, and what gives her the energy, all right, and the sustainability to continue, all right, to strive and to achieve what she wants. So let's hear it up for Shalina. Yay. Hey, Shalina, you can unmute yourself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. First of all, Claudia, 5 kids only, not 6. Okay. First of all, thank you. I want to thank Unicity for giving me the opportunity to try this Enzygen B Plus. I'm quite excited actually in the first place because at first I do not know what to expect because we just launched Chlorospirina 2.0. So I was told to try this. Then I said, okay, what am I supposed to expect now? But after taking it 1 week, for me, I'm taking supplements. I'm always used to take everything at one go in the morning because my day will be very busy. I do not want to forget any of the supplements that I'm supposed to take. So I will take 1 shot all in the morning. So I take 3 Enzygen Plus every morning with my morning breakfast shake, my protein shake. So I realized after 1 week, then I was actually calling Claudia and asking her, is it true that how I felt? I find that usually my protein shake could last me in the morning maybe like 3.5 because I breastfeed 2 babies. I breastfeed my 2-year-plus and my 5-month-old baby. Instead of lasting me for 3 hours or 3 hours plus, I realized after a week, 4 to 5 hours, I even don't look for food. And then I was wondering, how come I don't feel hungry? And it's just that I see food, I feel I just want to eat because it's supposed to be my lunchtime, but I don't feel that the hunger pang. I don't even feel hungry to eat. And worse still is that when I took Bio 7, I'm supposed to eat after 10 minutes. If I see the food, I don't feel like eating. Probably because I'm still full. So from then on, I start to lengthen my breakfast shake at least 5 hours plus. Then I have my lunch. And that result me to lose more inches, and I think I'm happy to have that, right? And then of course constipation. I have constipation issue very long. With live fiber and everything, it helps me. But with Enzygen B Plus, the bowel movement is much more regular. Every morning is easier. I don't have problem. I don't have issue with that. And another thing I realized, heartburn. That day, my husband Faisal, he's having a heartburn too. And he told me he took probiotic, but it's still very, very tight, very tight there. He says it's very difficult for him to move or to even breathe. So I told him, I said, got Enzygen Plus, why don't you try? Take Chlorospirina, 4 capsule, and take Enzygen Plus 3 capsule. And he took that. And right after that, about 5 minutes later, I asked him, hey, how is it? He said, gone. He said, he feels very easy and ease. So this helps a lot of, for me, this helps a lot of pregnant women out there. Because, it makes our life much more easier when we got our morning sickness, we got those vomit, nausea feeling, we got those heartburn. To get remedy for that is tough. To get a natural remedy for that is tough. And with this, I very excited to share with others. And then another one is, of course, energy boost. I have 3 small babies. My whole day is taken up with BioSlife energy, protein shake, and everything. Tell me what to take. Everything I took, but Enzygen Plus, what I realized, it boosts up everything. I don't need any naps. I never had naps in the daytime. I never had rest in the daytime. It's all filled with my activities, but my energy is very good. And also it helps to boost my immunity. I think for those who are long in the business, if you all know about Manos from Thailand, I realized this acts like Manos too, because for us to get Manos is quite difficult now. So I'm very pleased to see the Enzygen Plus help to boost up my immunity too. Whenever I feel like, you know, I'm getting sick, I'm getting flu, I took Omega, Bio-C, Immunizant, and I add on Enzygen. And yeah, within a day, I can see that my flu gets away. And one last thing, I think 2 days ago, I just realized about my skin. I think I start to have very pinkish cheekbone here. I know blusher. I was wondering why my skin looks like I got no blusher, but I was wearing blusher. I think I must thank Enzygen Plus for that. I don't know, but I think it's because of that, because it seems that my skin not getting fairer. It gets so pinkish there. No need much makeup, no need blusher. It's just a powder and that's it. Yeah. So thank you, Unicity, for this awesome product. I think I can't wait for I can't wait to order after this. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone.
You're very welcome. I don't know much about the pink blush, but we're happy to take credit for it. But thank you, everyone, for sharing with us. And it's always very exciting to bring a new product to a market. I can tell you that our registration teams in all 5 of the SIMBA countries are working hard and have products in the pipeline to bring more of those to these in the coming months. And so as soon as they become ready, we'll be making announcements, because we're as excited as you about having them there. And one other thing that I just thought to mention, we won't have a Q&A today because we're already at the end of our time. We're a little bit over, but by now I hope that everyone knows exactly how to get to Claudia, because if you have questions, that's where to go, right? Send them to Claudia, send them to her email, WhatsApp, stop by the office, but have that chance to be able to get those questions answered. And I know that some of people have thought, you know, why does Unicity have so many products? We can't take them all. And I want to tell you that the purpose isn't to take them all. I don't know if anyone's using all their products, that they'd be eating just supplements. But the reason why we have so many is because we know that every person is different, right? Every body is unique. And we want to be able to have a solution to every single person's situation. And so for everyone, we want you to explore and experience, hey, what's the best option? What are the best products for me to feel the way that I want to feel the best way I can? And so if you don't feel like right now you are feeling the very best you possibly could, then this could be a great product to see if it helps push you to a higher level. But on that note, let's wrap it up so you can get back to your day. Thank you once again to our testimonials for sharing that. We'll be excited to hear from more people in the future with other product launches. Thank you again to Claudia, and thank you everyone for being here with us and investing in learning more about the ways that you can help yourselves and others. Have a great day today and enjoy the product this month. I'll be excited to hear more stories about how it helps people. Good night from Utah.